I've done too much. And then a whimper in the quietest part of me. I never thought it'd be like this. I fight back a sob and push myself upright. Moving makes me gag, but I hold it down. Some long, deep breaths still the trembling forest. I scan the trees up by the cliff face for the two shadows, but whoever they've sent is either hiding or still too far up the mountain to see. I'd only caught a glimpse of them, dressed in faint grey, blending into the mist. Something was pinned to each of their chests, something that reminded me horribly of a timer. Their eyes were black, almost entirely black. I must have fallen around 30 feet from the rocky ridge, but it's impossible to see the spot where I slipped. My stuff is gone, my yellow backpack, my kit, everything. Either stuck up the crag or it's tumbled down further than me and out of sight. All is obscured by trees, standing so closely that their roots are in knots and their branches grapple for space between them. Using a boulder as leverage, I scramble upright, but when I put my right foot down it won't take my weight. My ankle is hot and loose, as if all the bones are lost. Should it hurt? My trousers are heavy with mud, and a thick but uneven coat of moss has attached itself to the fabric. I try to knock it off, but it's stuck, as if I'm the stone each clump was born on. I prise the lumps off with my nails. I need to get my foot going, so I test it on the ground again. It's then that I realise I'm wearing brown brogues, the type with serrated edges and little holes cut out from the leather. At least 2 sizes too large, the heel hangs away from my ankle, and the laces dangle undone, thick and slimy like wet black licorice. They aren't mine. A second avalanche of stone comes rolling down the other side of the hollow, so I turn and lurch through the forest. The thin silver birches are densely packed, and I grasp them tightly to ease the weight on my leg. From there, I enter a crush of pines and my knitted jumper catches on the branches, but I press on, praying that I'm not leaving a hairy orange trail for them to follow. Here, the ground dips again, but this time I use my good leg to slide down the pass, using the roots to control my fall. I must be sliding for miles. How far down does the mountain slope? It's a long time before the ground starts to level out. Here the trees are plugged further apart, and through them I can make out a wide field of dry yellow grass, sticking up in short round tufts, like anemones. It's open ground and I might be seen, but I need to know where I am. I rub and squeeze my knees like my father used to do when he rose from his chair and needed to move quickly. On my feet again, it takes a few tries before I find a branch long enough to hold me up, and I slowly creep out from the cover of leaves. I'm in a wide valley, split in half by a stream which froths white at the edges. At this side of the valley is the steep slope of white trees, and at the other is a range of tall brown crags, coated in dead brown grass like hair on a giant. Being here is to shrink. If I look along the valley, I can just about make out mounds of mauve, veiled by mist. Hill and valley repeated into the horizon. Thank fuck. I've seen this before. The map Michael showed me, but never let me keep. Faded brown ley lines on a tea-stained sheet of paper so old it felt like tissue. Like Bible pages in church, it had to be held with care and apprehension. Michael had let me touch it, even peer in close to memorise the route, but that was it. At the end of each lesson, he always rolled it back up in foam and locked it in the lowest drawer of his desk. It was too faint to even photocopy, but then something in Michael's eye told me that he wouldn't have allowed copies, even if I'd asked. He kept all the maps, the secrets, and the keys. Michael had told me of the silence here in the valley. He said to me, "It's like the air is turned inside out." Already I wish I could go back and tell him it's not like that at all. Write a research paper about it. Tease out the truth that really, it's far more like being in an oil painting. The quiet comes from the absence of movement, of life. Each breath you take is the swill of a creaking ship, and you are electricity, bristling with noise. I clap softly, testing the sound. Reassured for now that the two shadows must still...
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.